Coco, Alyssa, Michelle drinking game. And it's quite simple. Anytime any of the three of you throw a shade face behind the other person's back, you do a shot of absolute vodka, of course.
I don't I don't throw shade faces.
No, but you've invented the new thing, which is the shade clap.
Ha
Which
ha!
it was just one of those. It was one of those. That was nice.
No, it wasn't shady, but nobody else was clapping, and I felt like somebody should do something, shouldn't they? I think it's shadier. I think it's shadier just to sit there and be like, do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I know, but
still,
it was just funny because the reaction that you guys had was probably the reaction that I was watching it in the bar last night. So
yeah.
it was the same reaction. It was like everybody was just dead silent, and you were the only one in the first one to just be like, and it wasn't a full-hearted clap,
It
Michelle.
was
You were just
like,
kind of like clap, 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 stop, clap.
well,
It's
I
called the
felt
shade
like,
clap.
look, they still worked and they still put their time and effort into it. Just because it was a fail doesn't mean they
Of
don't
course.
deserve some sort of acknowledgement. And then I think what had happened was I started clapping and nobody else clapped. So I was just like, okay, I'll stop. But I don't know. It looks so funny the way they edited it. I was laughing my ass off. It was kind of hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, it was genius. And the shade faces that you made while they were doing that challenge were 8 ways to Tuesday correct.
Look, I laughed a whole lot, like to the point where they were like, "Can you stop laughing at Detox?" Because and Roxy, I thought Tasha Salad was really funny too. But
Yeah.
Detox had me laughing so hard that it was one of those like the eyeliner was smearing laughter, and they were like, "Okay, you need to calm down." So I did. I calmed down, and you know, I'm not a person to not wear my emotions and my honesty on my sleeve. I'm always very honest. And I'm not, and I've said this before, I'm not bitchy just to be bitchy. I'm honest. So if something's bad, my face is gonna be like I
Oh, you're
pull
gonna show it.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're
So
gonna show it.
it is what it is. But doing and first of all, I looked like I was pregnant in that dress. I'm like,
No,
I
you
don't see so many.
didn't.
No, I did. I'm not blind. Like I can see what's going on. I'm not delusional. And I know how
I
much I
didn't
weighed
notice.
in season 5. But what I was wearing, I was like, okay, nobody told me that. When I sat down, I think the leopard print brought all the attention to my gut. And I was like, that's sexy. That's a good look. All right then. So I won't be doing that next time.
We'll be throwing that outfit away.
Exactly. We won't be wearing that again. That's okay.
We
But
should just start a rumor that
nonetheless,
you are pregnant.
no, honey, no, I did my time on Pregnancy Drive. I am not looking to do it again. And I have huge babies. So I begged for a gay son, and my husband wouldn't knock me up again. So I'm done. Okay.
There
So
you go.
anyway, let's talk. Let's start with first of all, let's talk about Little Pound Cake.
Okay, I'm starting a national campaign. Little Pound Cake for Pope 2013.
Oh,
Little
okay.
Pound Cake for Pope.
Go ahead and knock yourself out with that. But a Little Pound Cake was everything from the paint to the finger. That is so my child. Little Pound
You're
Cake.
not my, you're not my father, and you never will be.
No, and they totally should have Here Comes Little Pound Cake, not Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. It should totally
I
be that.
I actually have a dress that's really similar and a wig that's really similar. I'm
Why
trying
does
to
that
figure out
not
if I'm gonna.
surprise me?
I'm thinking of dressing up as Little Pound Cake for my show tonight.
I wonder how you think they'll get it? And you could paint it scary
Yes.
like that.
Oh yeah. It's you just take Fifi O'Hara's makeup and then you just tilt it back like this times 1200, and
I
then
love
you
Fifi
draw
O'Hara's
angry
makeup.
lips. No, but just like crazy. It's just like, and then crazy
Yes,
angry lips,
yes.
and then just go. You're not my father, and you never will be.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I did like Detox's Rachel Zoe moment. That was funny. The thing is with the little baby, what were they called? What was the name of the challenge? The little I forgot what
Little.
their Little Miss or whatever it
I
was.
I can't remember anything before Little Pound Cake, to be honest with you, because
That's
it,
the whole
I just
point.
it was the resurrection of Christ.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And um, speaking about Alaska, because that was Alaska's Little Pound Cake was Alaska and who?
It was Alaska and Honey Mahogany.
Right.
I
Who,
think
by the
yes.
way, looked stunning last night on that runway. She looks so, I mean, so
Oh, she
beautiful.
looks so gorgeous every time.
She comes out sometimes and it's like, wow. No, they're saying it was Lanesha, not
Oh,
Honey
it was
Mahogany.
Lanesha.
So
I
it was Lanesha and Alaska, but I just remember Alaska because Lil Pound Cake was so Alaska. I'm not sure Lanesha
hmm
would have painted Lil Pound Cake
Yeah,
looking that way.
who was running? Oh, yeah, Honey Mahogany. She was like running down the runway. Did you see that? She's like she had to get somewhere. I don't know. Like, was there like a sale at a store? I don't know.
There was the sale on caftans, and Honey wanted to be
Oh,
the first one in line. But
she
I have
was
to tell
running.
you, she looks so gorgeous with it. It really doesn't even matter. She actually was stunning.
Well, I love a queen in a disco mono.
Exactly. I'm not mad at that. Um,
No, not at all.
I want to get to the whole challenge, not the pink challenge, the kids show challenge, but
Yeah.
um, there's so much to talk about there. Mainly, a lot of people I see them on the chat room talking about Alaska out of drag, and we'll get to that. But I want
hmm
to put some questions up, and also Damon from Vicky and Lysander, he plays Lysander. He's going to be joining us for a little bit
Oh,
before we go
fun.
to you guys. Um, and we'll talk to him in just a minute. But let's go to some of the questions so you guys don't think that we forget you, because a lot of times we get to chatting and we don't pay enough attention to what you guys are asking us. So,
hmm
um, Christina Jones says, Michelle, do you think that Alyssa and Coco need to just get over the fact that they are on the show now and they're on the show together and that each of them should try to win? Yeah, Christina, I do. Look, I love drama, and every show it's kind of like what happened, and then when we find out what happened last night, like really, all that it was
All of that for
shade.
that.
Like, look, I get that it was like what happened to Alyssa hurts. It happened to Vanessa Williams because of some nude pictures. I get it, and the first runner-up has to
hmm
step up, and I get that it was shady that they edited her out of the video. That was just shady. But I mean, do we not talk to our best friends because of that? Like,
I
oh,
don't know.
Coco, what?
I don't know if that's the full story.
You think there's more? I mean, I think that if they
Yes.
were a couple and that happened, it would be more scandalous.
I,
But
I, here's the thing. It's that I get that it's that whatever Alyssa did that caused her to lose the crown, that's one thing. And I can see Alyssa being upset and having some embarrassment over that because even if you do something wrong, it's still going to be humiliating. But I, I don't, I don't understand why they're holding a grudge against each other for that.
I,
You know what I
I,
mean?
I think, well, she said last night that what she wanted Coco to do is say, no, I won't do that. That type of
No,
thing.
and everybody says that. It's so funny because I've heard this argument 1,000 times from drag queens. They get upset. Like, for instance, if somebody has a gig and they're let go from a gig, they get mad when someone else takes the gig. I'm like,
Right.
it's caused ripples in between friends. I've seen it happen 1,000 times, and it's like, no, you're not going to sit there and just let the night not have a host or a person doing the
No, John
show.
and
You're going to take the gig.
John just said here, Alyssa didn't lose the crown. Alyssa chose her boy career. So I guess that's why the duties couldn't be fulfilled because she chose her regular day job that maybe was paying her more. I mean, we don't know her situation. She lives in Mesquite,
Yeah.
Texas. You don't know what the careers are there or what you can choose from. Sometimes
hmm
regionally, you have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
Um, and quite honestly, I don't understand why she needed to lose a crown for it. Unless, like they said, you can't fulfill your duties, and maybe she couldn't give the time and energy that she needed to without it. I don't see what the big deal is, except obviously it drove a wedge in their friendship. So sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
I think they need to get over it because I think it could and I don't know because I'm kind of enjoying being a fan and not knowing a whole lot right now.
Right.
And there's two sides to it. It's like they need to get over it so they can compete and clear their mind and focus. But I'll tell you, as a viewer, it's entertaining. So
It is
I could deal
entertaining.
with it. I could deal with it for another episode or two, but it's gonna start to get old. if they don't evolve and change the relationship.
But it's kind of started to get old already. That's the whole, I think that's why they talked about it last night. Because it's like, all right, let's just get to the bottom of what's going on. And they weren't, it is what it is. Crowns get
Yeah.
lost in gay pageants and straight pageants, in every pageants. That's what happens sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Somebody also just asked me about my thoughts on Jade's previous career. Um, I have no thoughts. Look, everybody's allowed to do whatever they want to do. I don't care. I don't care about porn. I love it. So people are going to do whatever they want to do. I don't think it affects their being a drag queen or being a human being. If that's what they, same way, somebody can go flip burgers at Burger King, or somebody can answer phones. I was a receptionist for many years. Well,
Yeah.
two. The same way they can do that is how somebody else is going to do adult videos. That's their life. Doesn't affect them
People
as a
can.
drag queen or a person.
No, it's like people have done a lot worse. So, you know,
And P.S. Jade looked gorgeous
yeah.
last night.
Oh my
Beautiful
God, she
last
always
night.
does.
Yeah, really, really beautiful. So,
Hmm.
no, she doesn't always. She always looks like a girl, but then there's a lot of times where you can't see through all the insanity that she's got going on. She tends to, blah! So last night it was really nice to see her just kind of scaled back for Jade. And she
Yeah.
was really, really pretty last night, I really thought. So I was really proud of her. Um,
I think the reason why it's disturbing to people is just because it's like, if you've seen it or you've read the stories, there's photos, and I think there's a disconnect from the image of being this beautiful goddess and then
I
seeing,
didn't look at the
a dirty
photos.
picture.
I don't
They
look at
got,
the photos.
wow.
That's sarcasm, Mimi.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sure.
sarcasm. Okay, I like
Sure.
photos. I like lots of photos. But
Yeah.
anyway.
You've been in my car. We've
Yeah,
seen
yes,
photos.
exactly.
Okay.
Penetration says for the record, she has not done any adult videos. Okay, thank you, Penny. Although if you
Mm-mm.
do one, please wear the daishiki, because that African thing was everything. And if you do it, I want you to wear that. Let's bring on Damon, and we're going to talk to him for
Yay.
a little bit on his thoughts before we get really specific
Hello.
and start breaking stuff down. Hi, honey.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Wow, you're really sexy.
I
Thank you,
know.
thank you. I've done some work, so.
Woof.
Yeah,
I
well.
love it.
Michelle
Okay,
is on the
Is it a
hunt.
little bright in the back here? It looks like a halo behind me a little bit, but
I love it. It
You look
makes you
like an
look
angel.
angelic.
I look angelic, all right,
You have
that
it.
works. How's
You have it behind you, and I have it blasting in my face, so we don't see a line. Me and
perfect.
Madonna. I love it.
Cheesecloth back there.
Okay, so you watched the show last night, right, Damon?
I did. Heart-wrenching.
Favorite moments?
I really liked Detox's runway. I thought that was pretty uh phenomenal. And I liked Coco's lip sync. I thought that was very impressive. But I have to say that I agree with you guys about the whole fight between Alyssa and her, and how that, it should run its course at a certain point.
Yeah, and it's funny because you were talking about the lip sync, and when Coco wore that outfit on stage, I was like,
Yeah, it was
seriously.
like some weird little girl thing.
It just did not work for me. And I think I might have been too harsh, so they might have cut out my critiques, because it was just like not, it was just, I don't know what it was, but I
It needed
knew,
bigger hair. It needed bigger hair. The
I don't
hair
Yeah,
know
was
what it
too.
was. It just freaked me out. It was just
it
creepy
felt
and
like
weird.
it,
And
it felt like a pedophile's fantasy.
it was totally disturbing, but everybody's got their own thing, and in the right maybe element it would work for me, but it was like everybody was kind of giving glamour, and then she came out and I was like, oh no. And then, but I knew, and I had never seen her lip sync before. I knew that when it was time for her, she was going to
Turn
kill
it.
it.
Oh, she was
Mm-hmm.
She
amazing.
killed it.
She
Even
was
in
amazing.
those that outfit, somebody said, you clearly haven't heard of Lolita. No, I've heard of Lolita. That was not Lolita. That was Shirley freaking Temple, and it was frightening. Um,
But
but
Shirley turned
but
it out. Shirley can still turn it out when she needs to.
because Shirley took that dress off
A
and
little
had some
breakaway.
cute little pantaloons on. Yeah, it
Mhm.
definitely worked. But
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen. I actually couldn't wait for Miss Coco to lip sync, so we got it last night. Let's talk a minute about the challenge, you guys. Okay.
Sure.
Alaska was out of drag. Well, Alaska was in boy drag, and I have to tell you, I wasn't the only one that was shocked. Rue was really like,
Yeah, your guys'
and
faces
I
and
didn't,
everything.
and it was the truth. It was kind of like, oh, and Mimi tried, because we were texting back and forth. Mimi tried it with, doesn't Rue present the show out of drag? It is RuPaul's Drag Race, bitch. Rue does not have to prove herself to anyone.
Oh, of course. Oh no, of course. But my point was that it was kind of like a microcosm of a bigger show. It was Buffalo Bill's backyard show. So.
And I get
For
it,
some,
but guess Alaska created Buffalo Bill's backyard barbecue, whatever it was. And I get it. And it's not that it didn't work because it was a Pee-wee thing. So it worked.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see them out of drag. And we read Dwayne Milan for the Janelle Monáe drag. Like I don't really pay my $5 to see the kids out of drag. I just don't think it's the right platform. It was risky. It didn't fail. It didn't fail because Alaska is extremely talented.
Yeah, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, I didn't mind it because it was entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't find it that shocking until I don't know. I mean, he's such a good.
You didn't find it shocking, or you didn't? It didn't bother you.
For some reason, it didn't bother me. I mean, I know it's RuPaul's Drag Race and that the whole thing is being in drag, but until it was brought up, it didn't really. Maybe that's my bad, but I was like, oh, okay, whatever. They're doing a skit, and obviously he probably should have been in drag, but he was so good that he pulled it off that I just.
But you know what, Matthew just said right here, it could have been Buffalo Billie Jean, and I was thinking the same thing. Could have been Buffalo Billie, could have been androgyny drag where it was a little more girl. Like it didn't just have to be straight boy drag. It just look again. I think Alaska's extremely talented. So for me, it wasn't that he sucked. It was fantastic, and it was definitely risky. But it was just like. I'm not sure this is what we want to see on RuPaul's Drag Race because we can go see this anywhere pretty much. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to take a risk. Sometimes it helps.
I thought he would be maybe at the bottom because of that. I thought, it was almost like an instant throw to the bottom because he didn't dress up in drag. But, it's like those food shows where they don't use one of the ingredients.
And you're right. You're totally right, Damon. And it gets to the point where, what do we do? But in the end, and at the end of the day, you have to kind of say, well, who's better and who's worse? And Alaska was definitely above Coco and Monica because Monica was just, if you look at the challenge, Monica and Coco were both a disaster.
And they were
weird. Sorry.
and they were totally weird.
It was very weird, and there were others who were worse than Alaska as well. And so I think it was the kind of thing where it worked because it was entertaining, but not being in drag probably stopped her from winning because I think if she had been in drag and done that great of a character, she could have won.
Maybe, but the way I see it, there was no beating Detox last night. Detox was so hilarious. Yeah. That thing made me laugh so hard. There was so much more that you guys didn't even get to see. I hope we can somehow do an extended cut of that segment because it was really good. And Tasha Salad was so good. It was just really thought out. And it was a total kid show that I would have watched with my children. Horrible mother.
Charisma definitely sells. You can definitely see it. And it seemed like Coco with the whole ventriloquism thing. It almost felt like self-sabotage or something. I don't know what, just seeing the difference between the lip sync where, she was amazing and then seeing, it almost felt like it was sort of like the self-sabotage thing when she was the ventriloquist. I mean, she literally was doing nothing. It was almost saying like, I don't approve of this. I didn't like the role and therefore I will do nothing to show that I'm not playing along with it, which was just a weird way to go about it. It's like you're given a role.
It did look kind of like, it kind of looked like she surrendered, like she gave up. But I think she knew. And you saw when they talked to her, she said, I'm not one to sit there and just repeat type of thing. So I think she did kind of, maybe she wasn't happy with the role she was given, so maybe she gave up a little bit. I don't know.
And
Yeah.
it's a sad opportunity because there's so many good double entendre jokes about, having a hand up your butt or
Yeah, hand
something.
up your ass, fisting,
You're,
something.
being a dummy. It's like there's so many great jokes there, and you have to deal with the cards you're given.
Yeah,
And I
that's what
do
she
want to just make a shout out and give a nod to how amazing Jinx Monsoon was last night as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she looked gorgeous. Although the two looks were a little too similar for my taste, Runway and Challenge, she looked amazing, and I really liked it. I just think it worked. It worked for me last night, so I want to give a nod to her also.
It reminded me of do you remember Raja in season 3 when she had the Marie
Yes,
Antoinette? It was very that.
yes,
It was great.
and yeah. I mean, sometimes it's gonna happen where we're gonna get some overlapping or it's reminiscent, but I still think that they put themselves into it to make it their own, which was
Mm-hmm.
really good. And Isaac says Jinx was no Raja. No, and Jinx wasn't trying to be Raja. Raja is a fashion icon,
Yeah.
and Jinx is a clown for better. And don't take that shady. I'm a clown too. A clown meaning she's like class clown, actress, musical theater girl. That's like the stuff that she's going for. They're two totally different things. So
Was there
that
something
was what that's all about.
was there something sexual going on between Jinx and Detox? Is that what I saw last night after the
No, you
show?
mean Roxy and Detox?
Yes, sorry.
No, it's first of all, I love you, World of Wonder, for the friggin' like violin music you were playing when they were like loving up on each other with words. I was laughing so hard. They know each other from Florida because Detox is a Florida queen originally.
Mm-hmm.
So when they saw each other, it was like long lost friends, and they totally love each other, and that's kind of
Okay.
how that little love affair happened. So no, there wasn't any kai going on. Also, you guys, let's acknowledge how great Uncle Dick, the cross-dressing uncle, was too.
Oh my God, so funny.
Really, really good. I mean, it's a shame that Monica was so nervous and
Mm-hmm.
that happened. I remember in season 3 that was happening with Phoenix also. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people get so nervous to do that stuff because it's out of the element. A lot of the queens, even though being a queen essentially, back me up, Mimi, and Damon, you do
Mm-hmm.
characters. Being a queen is acting. The character that I play on TV is not really who I
Mm-hmm.
am, kids. And people don't understand that really what you're doing is just doing another thing. It's like being in drag in another character. And if you look at it this way, I think it'll be a lot easier for the queens to break it down and stop being so nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
one, and definitely the one who took the biggest risk was actually Alyssa. She's not one to be that kind of more clownish,
Ugly.
absurdist,
Right.
ugly drag. She's a pageant queen. And so for her to dig down deep inside and pull that out was really outside her comfort zone. And I think given that and knowing that about her, I really think she turned it.
Are
Yeah, and
you
she
all
also
loving
seemed
her mouth the way that I am? Like
Yes.
I can't. I think I said on episode 1 or 2, like I can't stop. It's mesmerizing. It's magical. Like it's like Dory in Little Nemo with the lights, or Finding Nemo,
yeah,
whatever
she is.
it is.
Yeah,
She walks on and I'm like, oh, wow. And then the clutch is always like this, and then she points where she goes, and then go.
yeah. She exit with a point.
Oh, I mean, what's better than a freaking point? I'm gonna do
Nothing.
that from now on. I'm gonna go
Hey,
to the
Wherever
bathroom
I'm
and be like, that's what
there'll
I'm
be
gonna
no
do. So
there's no mistaking which direction you're going in.
exactly, look out, big load coming through. And I love the fact that she definitely took a risk as Uncle Dick. Um, I want to go to some questions here, you guys, because we're totally here we go. Peter Locke. Hi, Michelle and Mimi. Love you both. Oh, I can put it on the screen. Was just wondering if you were disappointed with the challenges this week, as it seemed like Detox, Jinx, and Roxy were the only ones who really worked it. I think we kind of covered that, but I don't think those are the only ones that worked it. I think those are the ones that were fully committed. You can't say Alaska wasn't fully committed to the character.
She's had a different interpretation of it, of the challenge.
Absolutely fully committed to the character. And I think even
Mhm.
people like Monica Beverly Hillz, who was tragic, um,
Yeah, that's not good.
thought she was committed, but she was so nervous. But I think I said at one moment, girl, read your lines. They're right there in front of you, and you're wearing sunglasses, so we can't even see you read them.
See
That's
that
like an
you're reading,
actor's
yeah.
gift when you can have a
It's like
book.
Yeah.
classic stage fright.
Jenna said, Alaska's so annoying when she says, hi. That bothers the hell out of me too, girl. The hell out of me. But
That's such an Alaska thing, though. That's all
I
she ever
know
does.
it
In real
is.
life, that's her.
I know. It drives me crazy. But I know that Isis and Coco Ferocia, two of our queens that love us in the UK, and they do their recaps for us, who I adore those queens. They do it too, and it makes me laugh when they do it. I don't know why when
Hi.
Alaska does it, it's like a friggin' hot knife through butter. Whatever.
Hi.
And also people got pissed off last night when I tweeted that I'm over Alaska talks. But I am, and let me explain why. You might agree, you might disagree. That's what opinions are all about. But that click thing really pisses me off. It bothered me with the Heathers and the Boogers, although I
Yeah, I
like
don't like
Mimi's
that
representing the
stuff.
Boogers.
It's like nasty
I got my
middle
booger
school
hat.
crap.
That's what it is, Damon. And being a mother of
Mm-hmm.
daughters, seeing that shit does not make me happy. I can't, I think it's cute. I get it for a taste. Do it once. It's for children who are gagging. I like that. But when you start doing that and clicking off and be like, it's just Mean Girls. And I get the whole, look, I get it. I have a sense of humor. I understand what you're doing. Um, I'm
They're
just,
trying to get booked together, traveling as Alaska talks.
I get it, but it hurts. It hurts. It's a hurtful thing. And the people that are left out feel less than. Now, I know we're adults and maybe it's not the same thing as middle school, but I don't like that shit because I was never in a clique. I didn't want to be in the clique. Maybe that's why I'm sensitive because people didn't want me in their clique, but it's bully-ish. And we're trying to come a long way with this bullying crap. So
Yeah,
that
well, it
just,
also
it's
seems
just
like it's
setting us back.
it seems like it's somewhat of the antithesis of what the show is about and what sort of RuPaul talks about is like loving yourself and like totally being yourself and expressing yourself. To sort of go back to that middle school where certain groups are better than other groups, it's sort of recreating
It's
that vibe that I think
ugly.
everyone's trying to break out of.
Agreed, Damon. It's ugly. Okay, two more things.
I
Yes,
well,
somebody
I
just
thought
said, go ahead, Memes.
I said I thought it was really kind of funny because they they came into the workroom screaming Alaska talks or whatever, and then the next words out of their mouth were "Yay, no more groups."
That is funny. I didn't even catch that, but that's funny.
Yeah.
And yes, I was in a girl group, but the funny thing is, I mean, girl groups are different. It's not a clique. I would have welcomed anybody into that group. Trust me, I would have replaced somebody in that group with any other girl if it were my choice. But there's a difference to being fun and everybody's in, come join, and then separating yourself because you think you're superior then. That's where the problem is, but whatever. Somebody just said, interrupt Michelle again, Mimi. Do not.
It's
Um,
hard with the delay on this. I,
yeah, I know. But it is what it is. You guys can love it. I'm not gonna back it up. Salvador wants to know who impresses us most with their makeup skills. Look, it depends what you like. I know today this is a very light look for me, but I happen to have a heavy hand. Shut up. But for me, and it's funny because I'm begging Matthew Anderson to teach me how to do a natural look. I don't know how to do natural look and auditioning now for pilots and stuff. I need to have a natural, I don't know how, I missed that class. Like I went straight to drag. I was literally raised by drag queens. I went right to drag makeup. So I don't know anything but heavy. I like Alyssa's makeup. I'm sorry. Sorry about it. I do. I like Roxy. Roxy always uses just a little day lash. I like that. Um, I think Laneige is a good painter. What about you guys?
I don't know makeup that well. I mean, this is an
What
area
about you,
where
Memes?
um, I live for Roxy's makeup. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the show that has as good of a paint as her. I mean, I do think Alyssa's is really, really good. Ivy's is great, but there's something about the way that Roxy paints her face that
Yeah.
just, Honey Mahogany also, her paint is gorgeous. Lanisha
Oh yeah.
also
Yes. Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes.
There's so many of them this season. It's a very, very pretty painted season. So it's definitely a treat to watch.
Christopher wants to know what I thought, or we can all chime in on this, of Detox's runway. Has it been done before? Yes. Is it something we don't see in every episode of Playboy? No. Is it something innovative and new? No. Did she turn it? Yeah. I like the kind of all nude monochromatic Elizabethan color. That was kind of the switch up for me. Um,
Very,
I
very
liked
Kate
it.
Blanchett and Elizabeth.
Yeah, yeah, it was only in the centerfold of Playboy.
There
You know,
was
there was something.
something relaxed about it that I enjoyed. It was just kind of I felt like she was just kind of like, I'm wearing this today, like, all right, whatever, and I just kind of enjoyed that about it.
She owned
Mimi,
it.
this
There was
question is for you. David wants to know if you get offended when people poke fun or whatever at your weight. And he says he gets upset when people do it, but bitch, I think you look great.
Um, honestly, so I mean, it's never going to be easy from people poking fun at you. What pisses me off is when I hear jokes like "Mimi, I'm fat" or "Mimi, I'm first to the buffet line." I'm like, if you're gonna make fun of me, at least let it be original. It's like I've heard these things 100 times, so it's just kind of it's a cheap insult is what pisses me off. I'm like, find something not so superficial if you're gonna fucking talk shit about me.
Yeah, but
um
I understand. Look, they talk shit about me too. And in the beginning, I used to get offended because I have a tough exterior, but I am a total marshmallow. And I'm the
Mhm.
Virgo that wants to, if there's 5 million people that love me and there's one person going, that's the person I need to change, and I won't stop working until I change that person. But through a lot of work on myself, I learned that I'm not going to be that person that everybody wants me to be all the time. Some people aren't going to get me that everything I do is tongue in cheek, and they're going to take me literally, so they're going to think I'm an evil bitch. And
yeah.
there's
Mhm.
it's just the way it is. You can't please everybody all the time.
You
And
can't
No.
you know,
everybody.
you can't. It's just impossible. So you have to kind of learn that, look, my husband loves me no matter what size I am. I'm up right now in my weight and working on coming down. People are going to say, I just try not to look at the comments anymore because people are just too hateful. And I really, really try to kind of spread as much love and the less hate and the more love I can preach out there, I'm going to try to do it. So
Mhm.
whatever, everybody's got their own thing. So as long as you like a good read and you want it to be something creative, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Somebody can read me and I will laugh my ass off if it's funny. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I get that.
Oh yeah, I
But
have a good sense of humor about it. It's just kind of like, just don't say what I've heard 100 times from 1,000 people. It's just totally stupid.
It's boring and
yeah,
cliched at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly.
agreed. Reading is fun and it's fundamental. So I'm all
Hmm.
about it. But obviously, I'm all about it. I was actually taking notes last night when I was watching the show because I get so into it that you guys sometimes I forget. Um, I wanted to talk to Monica, and since she's having issues with her camera, we did talk to her last week. Let's talk a minute about the Banji comments and how they were bothering her so much. Did you feel like, I mean, when I look at her, that's what she does. That's what she owns, that's what she embodies. It's not
Hmm.
meant to be a diss. It's not meant to nobody puts baby in a corner. It's not meant to pigeonhole her. I feel like if
Hmm.
you own something, work it. You don't have to be different. I think last night she was trying to be kind of out of her element with the floral kind of satin number going on. But do you think that was offensive?
Me,
Um,
no, but it takes a lot to offend me.
True.
I
What
mean,
about you, Damon? You're probably hard to
no, no,
offend too.
me. No, I mean, I don't think it was offensive, especially, I mean, it seemed like it was a moment, like she was trying in that moment to change what she'd been doing or what she said that she's always been known for, which is sort of understandable, but if that's what you've been giving off and somebody says that, I don't think that's offensive necessarily. Um,
Right, right.
I
I
thought it was
agree. And I thought
maybe
it
not the
was
best timing to change what she'd been doing, or I
well,
don't. She seemed like she was in an area of flux where she wasn't making a strong decision either way, and it ended up being somewhat vague, and that sort of affected the performance, from what I
and
could get.
understand that if you're giving that off, go with it. Work it. Say you want Banji, I
Yeah,
will give you
that's
Banji. I live for
yeah.
a Banji girl, honey. Ah, do I live.
Do it better than anybody else. You know.
Exactly. Brad wants to
Um,
know what I thought of Rue's green outfit last night. Well, look,
With
there's not
the
much.
fluorescent green hair.
Oh, and it was like greenish
She
yellow,
was
and it's like,
trying it for you.
look, it's Rue, and there's not much that I've ever seen in the 20 years that I've known Rue that looks bad. Even when Rue started doing that kind of androgyny drag, um, Rue just makes it work. Do I
But
give
she
Rue a
owns it.
pass? Yes, she's my best friend. And look, I give any queen a pass on any color. The whole green thing was completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
I hate
Hey,
a yellow
fluorescent's
green
in.
that looks like, I don't like a mustard yellow green that looks like a poop, because when you put it on me, I'm Hungarian and Italian and Irish. For me, when you put it on my skin, it'll look immediate like I'm jaundiced. Right away, I have hepatitis C. And for white skinned people that look like me, it doesn't look good. On darkest skinned people, however, it looks
Looks awesome.
gorgeous. On me,
Yeah.
a deep jade or deep emerald, not jade, deep emerald green is gorgeous. A jewel tone, stunning. And I happen to love a jewel tone green. And I actually loved what Katy Perry wore to the Grammys. That beautiful seafoam green, gorgeous. It's just when you start getting into the mustard stuff, that's when it just starts going into fungus territory and it just gets really nasty. So
Yeah.
whatever. Let's put some people on, you guys.
Let's do it.
Damon, I think we have to, I don't know why we have to say goodbye to him. Can't Damon stay? I'm going to ask the producers because he's too cute.
Oh, that's
We
sweet.
want to see him. Do you want to stay with us, Damon?
Yeah, sure. I have to be
Okay,
sure
great.
to
So
sign
Damon
into the web soon.
and Tony Castle says, who is Damon? What show does he star in? He's the star of Vicky and Lysander on Logo TV's web series, and they're really, really funny. And you guys need to check
Mhm.
it out.
Again, it's a very
Really, really funny.
particular sort of sense of humor, but hopefully people enjoy it.
I get it, but that's what I like. I mean, I spend my time watching on the computer, obsessing over Kath and Kim and all the, just for starters, the Australian version and all the shows in the UK, because we don't get that humor here, and we need to start getting more of that humor here. My
Yeah, the
child, my
British
oldest
and the
daughter, has the
Australians
same
love it.
humor.
Yeah, British
That's
and
what I mean.
Australians
And
love it.
but we need more of what you do. I love that stuff. It's
Oh,
twisted
thanks.
and demented, and I love it. All right, let's get our first person that's joining us on and start talking to our fabulous, fabulous guest.
Hi.
Jeremiah.
Hey,
Hello,
y'all.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Hey, baby,
What
how
is
are
it?
you? Ooh,
Keeps
leopard,
me.
yes.
Is that
Yes,
a
it keeps me
blanket or is
warm.
that
Very
a
warm.
wrap?
How are you guys?
Are you in North
It's the
Dakota?
slanket. Hi,
Yes.
baby. What's your question?
Hi. Hmm. If my question is this: if you guys knew before that Monica Beverly Hillz was a transgendered woman, would you have let her on the show? And don't you think that there's a
Well,
difference
go
between a
ahead.
transgendered woman and a drag queen?
Okay. First of all, did you all catch that Jeremiah came on because he wanted to see himself and how beautiful he looked on the camera? He was like,
He looks
question. He was like,
gorgeous.
okay. So to answer that question, I don't make the rules, but I know that this is, look, I have nothing wrong with T-girls. I happen to love transgendered. I'm going to the Tranny Awards on Sunday. I happen to love transgendered people, and I admire, love, and respect everything that they're going through, everything that they're doing, but there are rules for a reason. And I think it's, the rules are not because nobody, RuPaul or World of Wonder doesn't like trans people. That's a big effing lie. Let's stop right now. We're all in the same family here, all in the same community fighting for the same rights. But there has to be rules, because otherwise it's anarchy, you know? So in this situation, could we do a trans season? Sure. That's why everybody's on the same playing ground. When you are going through transition, in my mind, you're taking hormones, you're doing certain things that do give you an edge. They make you look girlier or whatever the situation may be. With that
Definitely.
said, I don't know if she would have been allowed on if she were honest. And that's really what the problem was. She was living with the lie that she wasn't being honest. It wasn't about that she is living as a woman and is transitioning. It's the fact that she wasn't being honest about it from the beginning.
I wonder
And
how.
yes,
Right.
they do have an upper hand. You wonder
I wonder
what?
how. I was just gonna say, I wonder how other transgendered people feel about that, because I know that there is this sort of thing where, you know, transgendered people in the transgender community don't want to be mistaken or called drag queens. It's two very separate things, and so I wonder how they feel about someone who is transgendered being on a drag show, since it's everything that they're trying to sort of separate and say we're not this. So,
I bet they would
wonder if
like it,
there's
though.
any out.
I mean, I think they
Oh,
like it
I
because it
think
provides
so.
them a platform.
For sure,
Absolutely,
it's
and
definitely a
gets
great
more
platform.
attention.
I
But
don't think you can I don't think you can put all trans people in one category about it, because I think that a lot of trans people have different opinions about it. You know, there are some that
Yeah, of
do
course.
have a problem with it, and there are some that are okay with it. You know, and it's definitely a complex issue, and I don't know how you explain it to everybody because everybody is different. You know, their gender identity, their gender expression, and how maybe that relates to drag or doesn't relate to drag is going to be different for every person.
I'm just
it
wondering
is
if Logo's
agreed, and
heard
it
any
is.
feedback or anything.
Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm sure. I mean, a lot. You know, we're talking about it, and just so everybody knows, there's so much love for the trans community, and again, I think it's more about the fact that, and somebody just said Rue knew. No, Rue did not know. Rue would not do that. Nobody's here to exploit. We're not here to do that. We're here to love, unite, bring awareness, and have a good time. It's not about exploitation here, people. It's about the fact that she lied. Look, even Carmen or Sonique, whatever, you can stop in your hormones, you can stop whatever to be on the show, as long as you're not at that moment doing what it is that you're doing, it's allowed.
And there are other trans people who have been on the show who are not out about being trans, and you know, we knew. You know, there's somebody on a previous season who I had never seen not dressed as a woman until they were on the show, and it's somebody I've known for years.
Really?
So it's like, you know,
Who?
so it's like it happens. It's like that's not my business to say, but you know, it's definitely different for every person.
Yeah. Look, and there's you can see the ones that when you look at them as boy, you're like, that's a girl, you know, and you can kind of know that probably they were transitioning or beginning to transition, or you know they're going to transition after the show, and that's beautiful, and everybody's allowed to do their thing. And I think it was the fact that I don't even know if rules were broken per se, but I think truths were not disclosed. I think that's the better way to say it. So how about that? But thank you, Jeremiah, for joining.
Even says that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're beautiful.
I don't know.
Love you guys.
Bye, baby. Mwah. Love you. So are you, baby. Love
Thank
the leopard.
you.
Keep it going. But there's lots of ways we can go. You know, there's so many things that we can do with that, and there's nothing but love for the trans community. So let's bring on the next one. We got lots of people waiting here, and we want to get on as many as we can. Joining us now, we are going to have Myron.
Hey.
Myron is
Hey,
joining us.
Michelle.
Hey, Myron,
Hey,
how are
Mimi.
you, baby?
What's going on? I'm great. How are you?
We're great.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Yes.
love. So tell us what your question is.
You can hear me? Okay. My question is, I always wondered how the judging process is. Like, you can check a lot as far as who gets into
Hold on, Myron, hold on. We can't hear you anymore.
Yeah, babe. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. You said with the judges,
Am I
and then we
gone?
lost you.
Now you can hear me. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. My question is, as far as like the judging process, how much of input do the producers have? Like as far as picking the bottom two, strictly with them.
Okay, we got half of it. You said how much input do the judges have? Is that the question?
How much influence does the judges and the producers?
Right, or no, do the producers have as far as it just simply the panel?
Like, did the
Gotcha.
producers tell you guys
No.
who to judge for?
No way. What I've been told behind the scenes is that really it does come down to Rue's decision, because on some shows you say, well, the producers can tell you what to do. This really is Rue's show.
Right.
Rue knows how to make a queen. Rue knows what to see in a queen, and it is Rue's show. So Rue does have the last say. I am not influenced by producers at all. They ask me my thoughts. I tell them, and they do not say, well, really, we need you to do this. I have never been told to do that. Maybe because the way that I think is so on par with Rue. But with that said, I definitely do what I think. And the guest judges are free to be themselves. You know what I mean? And in the end,
all right, cool.
It's Rue.
All right.
But good question. Thank you, Myron.
Thank you.
Mwah. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
We're going to keep the questions rolling. We want to get as many of you on as we can. We've got my Marquez.
Hi.
Ooh, look at those
You look-
headphones. Old school.
Yes, it looks like I'm dealing with NASA or something. Oh no.
You're with
Okay,
NASA.
Mai. So we
You
can't
like-
hear you.
Oh no.
What's going on with people's janky camera stuff today? What's going on, baby? We can't hear you, Mai. All right, we're gonna have to get. Thank you.
Maybe he was DJing a set.
It looked like it, right? Wiki. I don't know what he was doing. Come in, Rangoon. All right, so the next one we're gonna put on. Just keep putting them on, you guys, and we want to get as many as we can on here because the chats go so fast. And by the time we're done, it's already time to go, and it's like we want to talk to people. Let's see. I'm looking at the questions here too, while they get somebody on. Cinnamon says, if Alaska gets voted off and doesn't win, do you think it'll interfere with Alaska and Sharon's relationship?
Ooh, that's
a good question.
It's got to be tough.
Well, it's got to be tougher, Damon, to go on knowing that your boyfriend just won the season prior and think it's got to be tougher to have all of that pressure for you to actually not only make it on and last, but to win. I think it's tougher to put that pressure on himself than it is to actually do that.
Oh,
So,
for sure. I think
don't
that
know.
was not. I admire the fact that that she went on. That's not an easy task to take on. I mean, that's a high bar to reach. And but she's amazing. I mean, I think she's definitely one of the tops in my opinion. I mean, I think she's unique and she's confident and beautiful and talented and I think she has all the qualities that it would take. And consistent too.
Yeah. Alaska is consistent. I have some things that I try to work on with her, and I do expect a lot from her. Maybe I expect too much at times because you know what's going on in that head. So I think that there's certain times I look at queens and I think, well, this person is a genius, so therefore I'm gonna expect more. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You have to hold everybody to their own standard, and ask them to be more than they were before.
Joel said, "Hi guys, do you think this season has too many bitches in it? Like it doesn't seem there's any sweetheart personalities like Jujubee or Latrice Royale. Maybe with the exception of Jade. I think Honey is a doll baby. I don't think there's too many bitches. I think there are some bitches, but just because they're bitchy doesn't mean their bitch is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I think everybody, and look at Jinx. I mean, Jinx is the sweetest.
I was gonna say, I think Jinx is super sweet, and Jade seems super sweet as well, from what I can see.
Yeah.
The whole boyfriend thing was really nice.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was really sweet.
He's really cute. I think there's something really sweet about it.
Robert just asked who makes the decision to bring the queens back when they come out, like when they get voted off, and Santino and I, or Billy and I, whoever it is, bring them back. At that moment, it's me and whoever the judge is, and we talk about it and we lay all the cards on the table, and that's kind of how we do it. So there's sometimes a lot of thought, sometimes it's kind of like, oh no, it's just that, but it doesn't always work out. And I joke that what?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, with the lip syncing, can you usually tell within like the first 3 seconds of the song who's gonna win or not?
Usually, but sometimes it could surprise you. Sometimes it can surprise you. Hey Brandon, how are you, hon?
I'm great. How are you?
We are good. So what's your question, Lovey?
My question is, do you think that Rue will ever do a season where guys have never done drag and it's a competition, like a mix between Drag U and Drag Race?
You're not the first person who asked about that, like kind of doing, but here's the thing. It's not Rue's drag school for wayward queens. It's and it's not a ball first time up in drags. It's because of the work that gets put into it, and Mimi can attest to this. It takes so long, and that is like a whole different type of show, and it would probably be a shit show, to be honest.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why we do the one episode where we dress up the guys that have never done it before, straight, gay, or otherwise. Right, Mimi? It would take a long time.
yeah, I don't know that any of that if you've never done drag before and you were thrown into that situation that's already a stressful situation, that you would become a great drag queen that quick. It takes so long. It's such a process, you'd have to have each queen would have to have a team of people surrounding them.
That's what I mean. I think money
Yeah.
wise, it wouldn't even make sense to do it because you'd lose so much money. And the challenges when you make the guys over are tough ones. They're not easy, and they're exhausting for the queens because they're so used to doing it and know what's involved. But is there a little queen inside of you or something, Brandon?
Kind of. I'm a little nervous to break out, I guess, to say the least. And I don't know if I could, if I was, maybe if I was in that environment to push out, but I don't know if I could otherwise,
Yeah,
I
just
think
do
you
it and
could.
have fun. Just do it and
That's
have
it.
fun.
Anybody
Just start
could.
in your
Yeah.
start in your bedroom and then move it on outside.
That's exactly, Damon. That's exactly right. You start by yourself. And I get the question a lot of times, how do I learn and judge me, and they'll send me pictures, and I try to do my best and kind of help people, but it's just a matter of practicing. I learned how to put my makeup on by watching drag queens, by watching Billy, by watching whoever paints and makeup artists get freaked out because every time they do my makeup, I do this when they're doing my eye, and they're like, no, close it. It freaks them out. I'm like a doll. But I have to say that you just live and you learn. You go watch these people, go learn, find a drag mother in a club by you. It's a good way to do it, but you have to try. What, Damon?
I was just gonna say, I have a friend that just dresses up for his birthdays, and he started as that. He's actually plays Jenny in episode 4, and
And
it's
how-
for his birthdays, and he's hilarious.
Thank you, Brandon. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Impact just said, my dog better not be ripping stuff up. He just said that I should do a YouTube, put my makeup on. I'm going to tell you why I haven't done it. I do one look, tons of eye, no lips. That's it. You'll get bored. It's the same thing with different colors. So that's why I don't do it. I think it'll be really, really boring. Okay, so let's go to more questions, you guys. Somebody said, we covered this already. Roxy Detox Kai, no, just friends. Oh, I think our friend Mustafa's back. He joined us in All Stars. He's back with the, hi.
Hi, Mustafa.
How are you, cutie Mustafa?
Good. How about you? Did you miss me?
Oh, yes, we missed you. We're glad to have you back.
My question for you guys was like, did you guys agree with the fact that they have sent Monica home?
Well, yeah, after the lip sync and her performance, that's what should have happened last night.
Yeah,
The lip
I
sync
thought
could
so,
not
definitely
hold a
after the
candle to
lip sync.
Coco.
Okay. But like,
Yeah, agreed.
And the performance was
And not
so
only
dead
that-
on the competition.
That's
Yeah,
what the big problem was.
And it seemed like you gave
That's what-
multiple, I mean, from what I could see, there were multiple opportunities to sort of rectify it, and it didn't seem like it ever got any better. It seemed like you guys were eventually like, well, that's all we're going to get, And
Yeah.
That's
sort
what
of
the
it.
problem was. That's what the
Yeah.
problem was. It was,
because I
you
mean,
know-
I went to her show once, but she's like amazing, but she was like lost in Drag Race. So it was a kind of
yeah, yeah. Come on.
pity.
You're asking queens to do something they don't normally do. Oh my God, your puppy.
Oh,
So
she's
cute.
just, yeah, she wants to
you're
come play.
you're asking queens to act. And a lot of queens are just lip syncing and dancing or singing or whatever in their shows, and not every drag queen is an actor. And that you're asking them to channel a different skill that maybe some have, but for someone who doesn't, who maybe have never read a script before with cameras on you, especially, it's gonna be, not so good.
Brad just said, oh my God, Santino's with Michelle. Let's meet Romeo. Here's the baby.
Aww.
Aww.
Lil Romeo. We just rescued Lil Romeo.
So cute.
Damon?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Can I
But
just admit
Mustafa,
that
thank you
you're
for joining us. We love you.
Bye.
Yeah. No, this is an American Staffordshire Terrier who was a parvo survivor. Yeah, Michelle's pet minute. And
How old?
the other one, Bellatrix, is American Bulldog. This one's a pit mix, pit and American Staffordshire Terrier. He is 4 months, and the other one's 7 years. Yay, Michelle's amazing pet minute. Actually, good boy.
Aw.
Yeah, always rescue your pets if you can, kids, because these babies are getting killed every minute of every day in your shelters near you. Okay,
I'm gonna start
so that's
singing
enough.
Sarah McLachlan in the background.
I totally, and that commercial makes me cry every single time. I don't know about
I
you
have
guys.
to turn it off.
I know.
It's too heartbreaking.
But they're being a pain in the ass up here. She's eating my friggin' protein shake bottle. He is. And that's what I hear in the background. Okay, anyway. So you guys, last night on the runway, was there anybody that you loved that stood out for you? Because I actually liked Honey and that caftan last night, and I
When
thought
she
Jinx
was-
was fun.
When she
Alyssa was
charging down that
great.
runway,
Yeah.
when she was charging down that runway, I mean, nobody better get in the way. She was going to steamroll right over them. I mean, how fast was she
Yeah.
going down the runway, Honey? She was going like 10, 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, but Alyssa did the same thing, I think, on episode 1. She ran down that, like, I was like, whoa, whoa. Like, my hair went like this.
Security had to
Sometimes
come
they
in
do
and
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle just
It
said
was
that was a bitch
amazing.
stomp. It totally was a bitch stomp.
It was the Naomi
Roxy
Campbell
looked
bitch
gorgeous. Yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, can we?
Roxy
I mean,
looked gorgeous.
here's the thing too, and I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if we can say this, but can we talk publicly about the process of how the runway's done? That it is done multiple times.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't get into it too much, but I can say that, these kids get more than one go at the runway. That's all, and they choose the way
For
that they
audio
want.
reasons.
Do they
Right,
do
and they
it?
choose the way they want to walk.
Do they do it the same time, the same pace, the same sort of performance each time, or they have to
Usually.
match it for the shot, obviously?
Usually, but
interesting.
I like
was worried
the.
She was going so fast and she was so strong. I was worried, and that dress was like gorgeous. I was worried that she was gonna trip or something, but it was. pretty
She's got legs for days, and there is, it is TV, so we like to have a little bit of,
magic.
yeah,
The magic of
I like
television.
to.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I just
Personally.
like it. Just it's like there's she was stomping. It was just so crazy.
Untucked last night. Did we even touch on Untucked? What
We have
happened?
not.
Briefly,
We talked about the
fight.
little love moment.
And the love moment, yeah.
We did. We did talk about the love moment. What other moments did you want to talk about? What other moments hit you? Kids.
Us or the
Everybody. Because for me, I thought it was just, we're getting down to the bottom of this Coco and Alyssa thing.
I think it
Mhm.
needs to end soon.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it's run its course a bit, and I think the fact that I like Coco actually a lot, but I think the fact that she's so shaken by it. It's like it was 2 years ago.
It's holding her back.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and she said it. She did break down though on the runway last night. She did break down and say, "I feel like I'm not giving you because I'm my mind is on other things." And I think that's a really silly thing to do. And even Monica, she broke down in Untucked actually and said, "I don't know. I am that girl. I don't know what's going on." And I really think the bottom line is when it comes down to it, and you're on there, they freak out. They freak out.
Probably being
and understood.
Being thrown at you. And it seems like the competition is very fierce, and all of a sudden you may go from being the star of the show to being surrounded by everyone else who's equally as amazing and fabulous. I bet it takes a second to get your bearings, or it might rattle you if you're not 100% grounded in sort of your performance or whatever.
Look, and not everybody is gonna love their performances or what they did. Haven't you ever, all of you guys, and I'm not just saying Damon and Mimi, haven't we all had a moment where we walked away for somebody or hung up on the phone from somebody and went, why the hell did I just say that? And that moment replays in your head over and over and over again. And it's like Marsha Brady with, Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. It was one of those moments where it's like, ah, and you replay it over and over. And I think that's kind of what happens with some of these queens sometimes, where they
Sure.
go, I can't believe I let that moment pass. And that's what I did. You know what I mean?
Well,
Mhm.
hindsight's 2020, but when you're in it, and there's a lot of pressure going on, and who knows
Yeah.
knows what else is adding to it.
I think it's been for the two of them. This was something that happened, what, 2 years ago, they said. So, this is something that's been bubbling in their minds for 2 years. And now they're forced to deal with it on national television.
Damon, Matthew wants to know if you've ever tried tucking.
No, I haven't. Someone was explaining that to me the other night, how it's actually done, and I never.
Well,
fully
I'd like to
understood.
offer you a personal tucking lesson. I'll come do it
Thank
for
you.
you.
Perfect.
And then you can practice. How does that
And then
sound?
I'll show it on the next Freecast.
Exactly. That sounds great. And then I'll come star on Vicky and Lysander for an episode.
Please, we would absolutely love that.
Super, super fun. Yeah, I know. He's super gorgeous. I know. Everybody's asking what it's behind me. It's my husband's pile of clothes, a moving box, and my husband's his black belt certificate.
There's
I
like
mean,
some
his
upside down,
office.
there's like some pinup girl on the wall.
Oh, that's my Olivia. Where is she? Oh, you want to
Thank you.
see her?
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. I haven't hung her up yet because this is a new house. Hold on.
It's Home Depot product placement.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Isn't she gorgeous? I used to
Yeah, I
have her
love
in my
that.
living room. And it's called Silk Stockings. And I used to have her in my living room in Florida. And I remember parents walking in, and parents, they judge me. I have a nose ring, 20 tattoos, and I wear 6-inch heels with workout clothes. I'm like
Amazing.
the Italian, Hungarian Peg Bundy. And they'll walk in and the first thing that hits them is that picture. And they're like,
I'm not letting
and
my
I'm like,
kids stay here.
it's the body. It's a human. What are you afraid of? It's
Yeah,
tits.
she's
Look
not-
at me, for God's sake. Your kid's with me. I have friggin' 38 Ds. Give me a break.
Exactly. It's not like she's doing
Yes.
anything sexual. I mean, she's not shoving something inside of herself. She's
It's
lounging.
an antique. It's vintage.
She's relaxing.
It's an antique. Jenna asked if I am bi.
Ooh.
No, I don't consider myself bi. I have played. I have dabbled. In my mind, you can't judge anything unless you've walked a day in their shoes. So
Mhm.
unless you've tried a religion, a food, a look, a sexual position, sexual partner, you can't say yes or no.
Mhm.
So I just prefer penis. Do I love a lesbian? Yes. Do I love women? Do I think women are hot? Yes. Do I fantasize about women? Sure. But I've been there. I've been there, and it just didn't work for me. But I do
You
love
made
a
an
hot
educated
woman.
decision.
I did. And God bless my lesbians. I love them. So just think of me next time. Frankie wants to know who the fantasy guest judge would be. I mean, it's obvious for me who the fantasy guest judge would be, and that would be Madonna.
I know.
That would be pretty amazing.
But for
Lady
me,
Gaga.
Cher, Gaga, Dolly
Bette Midler.
Parton, Bette Midler, die, dead, D-E-D.
Yes.
Yeah, Bette Midler would be unbelievable.
I'd love to judge with Kathy Griffin because she was on seasons before me. I'd love Joan Rivers to come back and judge when on there.
That's just hilarious.
I really think
Liza.
Dolly Parton would be such a fun.
She would be amazing. How about Liza? Liza would be insane.
Mm-hmm.
And she could
Any
sell
kind
some
of
her
gay
clothes on
icon.
the show.
Yes. Any things like,
They all
any
have to-
kind of gay
they all have to
icon.
go out in
I-
Liza, the Joneses going out in Liza Minnelli Home Shopping Network outfits.
I want to start a petition to get Honey Boo Boo as a guest judge,
Oh my God.
and she could sit
Then
right next
you
to you.
have fun
Michelle.
with that. No, thank
You
you.
should get her in the
I
I would
have
conversation.
love
my
to
own
see-
children.
If Honey Boo Boo sat next to you for an entire episode and you were in charge of babysitting her and dealing with her judging,
You know what, Mimi? You're
that
my
should be a
friend and you're
2-hour
being
episode.
a bitch.
No. Yeah, but that would be fun.
Really
Can you
fun.
imagine-
That's because you're not there having a babysit.
Can you imagine?
I
if
just
Mariah
can't.
Carey was
She's
the judge?
adorable and she's actually really funny and really smart and really quick-witted. But I can't. I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like exhausted. It was exhausting enough having Kristen Johnston. Just kidding. I loved
She's
her.
funny.
People wanted
She's
to
fun.
start a fight between us because I gave her the
Yeah, I was
side
gonna
eye,
say, was
and
there
we
was there
actually.
some contention there, or nothing contentious?
No, I'm the person who does this if I don't like it. You know, I did it to my mother. My daughters do it to me. It's just the person that I am.
It's a
You know,
family
so
trait.
I love her actually. Um,
She's
Somebody said, "What
hilarious.
about Big Ange? What about Ellen, John
John
Waters,
Water.
Drew
John
Barrymore?
Waters.
All these people, you guys, all these people would be fantastic. There's a
Grace
lot of
Jones.
people that, you know, all them. Wendy
Grace
Williams would
Jones.
be like
I mean,
great.
yeah.
Grace Jones would
Grace
be insane. And how about some
Grace
hot
Jones
boys
would
every
just
now and then
punch
for
the
Mama?
person who lost.
Right. I love it. Get out. I love it. You know, Tina Turner. There's a lot of
Bridget, you should get Bridget Nielsen. That's another level of interesting.
and insanity too.
Well,
But
yeah.
I'm down for that. But
Who
you know,
would be
any of
the
these guys,
Who would be
Besides
the
John
last
Lithgow.
person you would want to judge?
the Westboro Baptist Church people.
Vile.
You know,
Apparently they're protesting Vatican.
almost everybody. Well, the Pope's available now, so maybe he'll come judge.
He would be an amazing guest judge. He's got the robes.
He's got the hat, honey. He's got
He's
the
got that
headwear.
He's got those red
Mhm.
shoes.
He's good with an
I would
audience.
love Ryland Clark or anybody from, you know, I'd love to get some UK people over here. They'd be really fun also, you know, because they're so open. The UK has got such a great eye for drag as well, that I can't wait until we do an international season. That'll be super, super fun. So.
And they're so freaking funny too.
Oh, the best.
So
It's
smart.
Yeah,
fantastic.
intelligent.
Yes. My British love. My British love. I'm totally an honorary Brit. I love being an American, but my humor definitely lies in the UK
With the
for
Brits,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
And that's all good. Somebody just said Mitt Romney. Oh, that'd be the definite.
And Romney.
There's a
And
lot
Romney.
along those lines. That would be hideous. Yeah, Graham Norton be great. Lee Francis, aka Keith Lemon, all those people from the UK would be fantastic. But you watch them, they'll make you laugh. They're hilarious. Michelle Bachman to judge, fantastic. I could dress up like her and we can do dueling Michelles. But we want to thank you guys for joining us. And of course, we'll be back next week. Monica couldn't join us because she had an iPad. She didn't know she needed a computer to join us. Pretty, but sometimes, you know, just kidding. Okay, so next week we'll see you guys. Don't forget Monday nights, 9 p.m. on Logo, brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. And the following that is, I'm trying to think in my head who the guest judges are this week. And the following that, of course, is Untucked. And then the next day, you get to have us. Now tell everybody, Damon, where they can find Vicky and Lysander.
Oh, it's on Logo as well, logo2v.com. New episode is coming out Wednesday. Is that tomorrow? Yeah, 3 p.m.
Do they come out every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday, yeah. They're 5 minutes long. They're super short. We social climb through New York.
I love it. Look, my cheap earring just fell out. It's what happens when you shop at Love Culture and Forever 21.
Gorgeous.
But thank you all for joining us. We love you so very much. We love that you take the time out of your day, whatever it is you're doing, you're at work, wherever, to join us here for the Elimination Lunch. Like, that means everything to us.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And we love you for loving our show. And we'll see you on Twitter at Michelle Visage, at Mimi I'm First. What's yours, Damon?
At The Real Lysander or at Damon Cardesis.
And, oh, you're Greek, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oof. I'm coming over now. I've got a grape leaf to wrap you in.
Let me know the next time you're in New York.
Thank you for joining us, Damon. And everybody else, we will see you anytime. I loved having you on. You're really funny and you're really sweet. Mimi, I adore you. I'll be talking to you. And everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next week, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
No. Bye.